Right, so, hey everyone, it's Graham. So this video is going to be a little bit out of sequence, I've noticed something on Instagram that Man and Dog Adventures has got himself a plot of land. He's living there rent free, and I wanted to address something regarding that. Just gonna pull that across because it's messing with the lighting. Anyway, yeah. So he was saying he got a plot of land that he was allowed to stay on rent free as long as he helped maintain it, and that he did the work on it, like the maintenance work, which bloody noisy things. Yeah, which I don't know. I know a few people who've got these arrangements where they stay on land. Like for example, they could park their van on the land, or a tiny house. Like I know a few in America who are doing that, and are under one of these agreements. Now for me, I guess a van is better because you can move it, you can just drive off. But for a tiny house or something, like, I feel like you'd be left like neck deep in the shite if they suddenly said, oh, we need you off in like a week. You're no longer allowed to stay with us. The, I don't know, government or codes have said this, that, the other, you need to move, you need to go. Where the hell do you go with a tiny house? I mean, a van obviously is generally alright because it's a van, you just park it on an industrial estate, whatever. But these people who are doing it with a tiny house, like, I just couldn't do it, me. I couldn't do it. And I wanted to know sort of, what do you guys think? Could you do it? Those of you who've got tiny houses? I know Rob over in Canada, he has that threat like every day. You know, he's in a HGV trailer, isn't he? They could just be like, yeah, sorry mate, there's no room for you. You know, someone's paying more than you. Someone's offered me, say, $200 a month to park their lorry here. You know, you're only paying 50. It's bye-bye, mate. You know, I would say first come, first served. But, you know, they're going to go with profit, aren't they? Because, you know, land is valuable. So, yeah, I don't think I could do that. I'm quite a nester. Even with the van, I don't think I could do that off somebody else's property. I don't like the uncertainty of it. I think I definitely still need to get my own place. But when I was messaging him, he was saying how he maintains it as part of his agreement. And I was looking at some places in Portugal where it's like small plots of land, sort of where he's on, where it's about an acre. Or it looks about an acre anyway, I don't know that for sure. Where it was quite cheap, but it was maintained and it had a building. Whereas you could get like 3 or 5 acres for about 10 grand more, and you're getting 3 times the amount of land. But there's no building, there's only one well, and what was the other thing I said? Oh yeah, it wasn't well maintained, that was it. It was trashed, it was like overgrown, it was like 3 foot high weeds and stuff, and it was all the well was all like grown over, and there was all algae in it. So yeah, I personally don't mind the work. I quite like gardening. Cleaning it up for me would be a piece of piss. I quite enjoy the work, although Portugal weather might be a bit too hot doing gardening all day. But I know from a lot of woofers, they say they get up early, they sort of have a sort of long siesta throughout the day, and then they work in the evening, obviously when the sun's going down, it's a bit cooler, and when the sun's coming up in the morning, that's how you make it work. But no, I just couldn't do it on somebody else's land, just with that fear of constantly being evicted and thinking, you know, what do I do, where do I go? Because you do kind of nest, you do kind of settle down and root in a place. So yeah, I don't think I could do that. I mean, great if you can, but that's not the sort of thing I'm looking for. And yes, I am very aware that A, you have to come up with like, I don't know, 20, 30 grand to find a plot of land. B, there's going to be maintenance costs. Depending on where you are, there may be taxes to pay. I know America's one for that. I think we have, God, what the hell is it called? Stamp duty land tax or something along those lines, where you sort of pay the tax up front and then you only pay it if you gain money when you sell it. So if you buy something for £5,000 and then sell it for 10, you obviously pay tax on that. Whereas if you buy it for 5 and sell it for 5, you don't pay tax on it. Whereas in America they do it every year. You pay like whatever, $300 tax, $500 tax a year, whatever. That's America for you. I think that's crazy, but it's like you're paying for the privilege to be on your own land which you've bought. It's like you're renting the land that you've bought. That's crazy, but hey, it's America, isn't it? But yeah, once you paid your fees and stuff, like your lawyer's fees, your notaire, if you need a NIE number, I don't know if you need that in Portugal. I've not really looked into it. Buying land in Portugal, I know you need that if you're in Spain. I don't know about Portugal. Obviously, a lot of the law and legislation that I know is all about Spain, because that's where my parents bought property, so that's what I know. I don't know shit about Portugal. So yeah, learning curve, and I don't want to do like I did with the Sprinter and learn the hard way, which is with cash. I'd rather learn using this and get things sorted beforehand, and try and save as much cash as possible. Yeah, because if I'd have known what I'd known, I would not have bought that van. Or I wouldn't have bought a Sprinter, let alone that van, you know, with its rust issues and whatnot. I suppose it's not bad, but you can get worse, but I would not have bought that van. I'd have probably bought a Vauxhall, what they called, Maravo, whatever the fuck they're called. I'd have bought one of them, because they're cheap, basically. I'm cheap. No, it's just cheap maintenance costs. Obviously they don't last as long, but hopefully by the time I would have got to that stage, I'd have bought the land, so I could just dump it on the land and it'd be like a caravan. That's all it would be to me. I'd let the MOT expire. I don't know, maybe jack it up on blocks and just take the wheels off, whatever, so it can't be towed away and nicked. And I'd just use it like a caravan, just leave it on the land. And obviously I'd try and convert it for much cheaper. I am still considering doing a second van. I am thinking that if I do a second van, either once this one's done, or if I can sell this one, or whatever I work out. Still, the long-term plan is if I can do a second van, I would love to do a small wheelbase Ford Transit. Small wheelbase, low roof, solar panel on the roof, and I would have, let's think, you've obviously got diesel tanks, it's a diesel van, have a diesel cooker, have a diesel heater. What else can you have that's diesel? Can you get a diesel stove? I think it's all connected into the diesel cooker, isn't it? But yeah, have everything run off diesel, because then all you have to do is shove the nozzle in, fill up with fuel. That's all you need. No LPG, no extra diesel tanks. What else do you use? No disposable gas tanks, no flimsy camping stoves, none of that shite. Just all off of diesel. And then you just have to fill up the diesel tank more regularly. That's what I'd do if I knew I would have done that in the first place before I bought this piece of junk, which has just been an absolute money pit. People like Mel's World, this is going a little bit off topic of the land, but it's sort of tied into the van and the land and mobile living and nomadic living. Yeah, if I'd have known, that would have probably been cheaper to just use diesel, because everything would run off the same fuel source. I wouldn't be paying 750 quid to put in a friggin' LPG tank, which might not even work in the cold. Yeah, it's... Plus, yeah, right, Richard mentioned this, Richard Kimberley, also known as Mr. Beyond the Van, and also Martin, House Not Homeless, took the piss a bit, saying, why the hell did you buy such a big van? You know, it's just you. Well, if you've not watched Nate Murphy's video on how to get a girlfriend in a van, I wasn't always planning for it just to be me. You know, I was trying to think ahead, and in doing that, I've left myself with a huge bill. So, yeah, it's costing me a lot of money to convert, and obviously as it gets older, the van just becomes more rusty, it becomes worth less, and it was a mistake. Let's be honest, it was a mistake. But hey, you learn from your mistakes sometimes, so, yeah. right now, I've just put something on Instagram about the SRS warning I've got going off. I'm going to have to pay Mercedes for the privilege of bending me over and giving it to me. I'm going to have to pay for that privilege because I can't reset it. Everything with Mercedes, oh, just take it to a dealer, just take it to a dealer. Oh, this has happened, take it to a dealer, which costs you a fortune. So it's due a service anyway, so probably in April, because I think its MOT is due in June, April, or maybe, oh, May's Camp Quirky though, so it can't be May. I might get it done before May because I think the brakes need looking at, possibly. Just the rear one was just at the back because obviously it's rear wheel drive. Oh, I think it's at the back. I don't know, no mechanic, but yeah, the back wheels squeak when I brake hard, so I think the brakes need work. They might just be loose. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. There's something about they can squeal or something. There's an anti-vibration something loose. I'm not a mechanic, I don't fucking know. So, but yeah, that's going to cost a fortune to get that done. It's one disadvantage of taking the seats out myself. Or they might just pop a thing in and go boop, reset and go, yeah, no problem, mate, job done. Don't cost you anything, just pop a thing in, press clear, job done. I don't know. It's an electronic problem. It's one of the problems with these modern vans. They're so full of electronics. I can't even friggin' touch the seats without a fucking sensor going off. So just the downside of buying a Merc. Although I think all vans probably have that. If you mess with the seats, it'll set the airbag sensors a bit dodgy. And anyway, whatever. I'll have to get that cleared. If it costs me money, it costs me money. It's just one of those things. You just have to say, right, there's nothing I can do. I can't fix it. But yeah, if I'd have known, I'd probably, well, actually no, I wouldn't have gone to a garage. It would have cost a fortune to have the seats run out, to take all the floor plates up, to run the 12-volt wiring through that I've done. That would have cost a fortune. So, but I just wished I'd have known. I wouldn't have started the engine without the seats in. If I'd have known, I'd have found another way around it. But hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you an update. There's not going to be any progress. I'm still struggling to edit the videos, trying to get things in order, because obviously I put that flexible solar panel on the roof. I know that's still not on my YouTube channel. I don't know if I'm going to put that on, because obviously I put it on, took it off, absolutely rusted the shit out of my roof, and now I've had to spend, I don't know, about 70 quid in chemicals to repair it, because sticking those what they call flexible solar panels onto the roof absolutely destroyed it. I know, what's he called, Alex and Marcella, I think his channel is Kite Van Man, I think I'm saying that right, something along those lines. I know he's done it. He's put 4 of them on his roof, and I dread to think what it's going to be like when he eventually pulls them up and sees what it's like. Maybe if you had airflow, maybe it might not rust. Don't take my word on that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've got a shitload of rust, and I just had to grind the shit out of it, sand it off. I went through like 5 belts because it kept shredding the belts because it's so rough. Because obviously I had little bits of Sikaflex left, little clumps of Sikaflex left, because I did a really, really good job of sticking that thing on. But yeah, so I don't know what to upload, what not to upload, because technically I put it up and took it down and then repaired it, and it's like, do you want to see that? Because do you want to see my mistakes, or do you just want to see what I've actually done to progress to move forward with the van conversion? I don't know. So yeah, it's all video editing that I need to do. Wow, this is like a 14-minute video. I need to shut the hell up. So yeah, that's just an update. I'm going to go, because otherwise it's going to go on forever and people are probably bored shitless. So yeah, in the words of Derek Howlett, see you in the next video. Peace. What is it?